Welcome back to TheChowTimePod. It's your host, Red. You got a video today for modern dating here. Please like, subscribe, comment down below. I really appreciate that. Let's get that. Ciao. Ciao time. He said he can't be with her because she has a child.
I have a whole kid. And what? And what? And what?
I'm sorry you got a whole kid.
And what?
What
And
the
what?
hell?
And what?
And see how men literally have to react to this? We literally, after we get hit, we have to even see more of the passive and the non-aggressor by putting our hands up and not laying on it. Like, men, the psychology for men to have to do this when someone's attacking them is just crazy. That you can't even block, defend yourself, or punch them back. You just gotta, I just got hit. Sadness.
She didn't accept being rejected because she is a single mother, and then the unexpected happened. Everyone around were speechless, including the...
It's crazy because I'm allowed to show this. I can show this particular part. If this was the other way around, I can't show it. YouTube would literally strike my channel down again if I showed it the other way around. That's how sad YouTube is nowadays.
The guy who found himself in this situation.
I never had someone get so upset and so mad because I told her, I was like, hey, I don't really date people with kids. I don't like people with kids. She blocked me, unmatched me on Hinge and everything. All right, so I was talking to this girl on Hinge a couple weeks ago, and I did do my settings for people that don't have kids. I did put that. For a preference for me, I prefer no one with kids. So I'm talking to this girl, we're having good conversation. Everything's good. We're texting for like 3 days, maybe 2 days, 2-3 days. We're texting 2 or 3 days. And then, I'm asking her a bunch of, shit that I should know. And I even told her, I was like, yo, tell me something that I wouldn't know about you. Kids never came up in this. One day we were talking, and then she told me, she was like, hey, yeah, I do want to mention something to you. Or she said, I want to run something by you. And I said, okay. She's like, I do have a daughter, blah, 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 this, that, and the third. I hope that's okay.
No.
And I'm just like, fuck. I'm like, hey, like, I get it. You have a daughter. I respect that. I said, hey, but at the end of the day, I wish you would have put that on your profile because I have my settings set to where it says no kids. Like, I prefer people with no kids. I'm not lying. This girl goes the fuck off on me. Like, she starts, like, sending me long paragraphs and telling me.
Such gaslighting. The one that lied and started it off with a, deceit. When told about this deceit and the man says, no, you know what, I don't want to deal with it. All of a sudden, he's the evil one and he's the bad guy because he doesn't want to date a single mother that you hid from him.
Telling me all kinds of crazy stuff. She starts telling me, like, I'm not a real man because I wouldn't step up to the plate if a girl had a kid and I really liked her, this, that, and the third. And I'm like...
And that's the game they play, guys. They want you to like them, get attached to them, and then they'll tell you about the kid.
It has nothing to do with whether he is a real man or not. This is his preference. I don't know why some people think their preference is the one that matters. Somehow they believe that others shouldn't have their own. But this is not how things work.
The fuck? I'm like, hang on for a second. You have certain preferences or a certain type of guy that you like, and if I didn't fit that criteria, you wouldn't be talking to me. I'm pretty sure if I was 5'8", 5'9", she wouldn't be talking to me. Nope. She just started going off on me, and then all I did, I sent the thumbs up emoji. I think that it made her even more pissed off. At this point, I don't even care.
I don't understand why people don't respect boundaries. I have a kid, and I don't want to date someone with kids. I have 2, and I'd prefer no kids. Mine are enough for me. Don't want bonuses.
These women.
We all have our preferences. I have no kids and prefer a man with no kids, period. But it's hard to find. As a mom...
What the hell are you talking about? There's more men without kids than there are women with kids. The men that you want, sure, they're the Ray, Pookies, and Chads. Of course they're going to have kids.
I wouldn't date anyone who doesn't have kids. 2 different worlds. You're not wrong.
I'm like, hang on for a second. You have certain preferences or a certain type of guy that you like, and if I didn't fit that criteria, you wouldn't be talking to me.
He is completely correct. She wouldn't give him a chance if he didn't match what she was looking for. So
yeah, I'm sure she put 6'2" off the bat on Hinge, and you can do that on there.
I don't understand why she was getting upset when he opened up about his preference. We have seen countless clips where women stated what they want, and usually we accept it. when they state that a guy must be in a certain financial bracket or at a certain height. We don't complain about it, as we understand that it's just her preference.
Because I have my settings set to where it says no kids. Like, I prefer people with no kids.
This is something she shouldn't ignore. Based on his preference, she knew she wouldn't qualify for what he was looking for. So why was she still willing to pursue him? Now she believes that he is wrong for having that preference, but I bet she thinks that her preferences are perfectly normal. I don't know if she knows about it, but a lot of people who don't have kids prefer to date those who are also childless. Again, it comes down to what they want, and all we have to do is respect it. She needs to find those who wouldn't mind. That's the group she should keep her focus on, instead of trying to push her way in on someone who is looking for things she knows.
Like the whole shaming men, you're not a real man if you won't step up. What about the man that gave you the baby? Go call him not a real man and then speak with him, adjust him into a real man first, and then you could talk to me.
Longer can provide.
I have a whole kid. And what? And what? And what?
Lie up in his face.
And what? And what?
See again, guys.
And what?
Just with your hands.
And what? Okay then.
And she wonders why he don't want her. She should not be upset. It takes a grown man to take a responsibility that doesn't in actuality belong to him. At least he was honest. She was just upset because he doesn't want to take care of a kid he didn't make.
Or the kid that's right in front of him.
The person laughing in the background is so very immature. This whole video speaks. You should not become a mother when your foundation is crumbling. It only hurts the kids in the end.
Yep.
I feel the pain of this mother, but if a
Shut up.
man is being honest, then accept it. Everyone has the right to choose for themselves. And that's not what he wants. I don't think it's the kid that's the problem. It's clearly that reaction to him turning you down. She did not want that answer. She wanted a financial solution.
Yep.
If you like our video and would like to support our channel, don't forget to subscribe. We really appreciate all the support. I think she is a bit confused, and I feel sorry for the young man who found himself in that situation. But I am glad he was able to deal with it maturely.
He should have just called the cops and filed assault charges on her. That's what men should be doing nowadays. Stop letting women lay their hands on you and letting them get away with it. Give them real world consequences.
She probably never dealt with this type of rejection, but nothing justifies this behavior. You can't put your hand on another person just because you are not what they are looking for. How many guys has she already rejected because they didn't meet her requirements? So this is the same thing. What's the problem? He looks like a young man who is still in school and most likely doesn't have a child yet, and for some reason she doesn't agree with his preference. How can this make any sense? She knows she can still find a guy who wouldn't mind dating her even with kids, but interestingly, she wants the one who is looking for a childless woman. This is how they unnecessarily make their dating life difficult, and then
Just like the men they want. Have no clue what that man even wants. But yet, they still strive after him, and then they get him, and then they pump and dump.
get upset about their own choice. She should have accepted that he was looking for someone else and moved on as many other people would have done. But instead, she decided to challenge him on his decision. It's not personal. It's his preference, just like she has hers.
Would you date a woman with kids?
No. I'll fool around with a woman with kids.
And if you would, are there limitations? Like age ranges, the amount of kids?
Okay, you know what? If I already had my kids, and I was in my 50s or 60s, and my kids were almost already grown, and you had grown kids already and all that, and I'm not married or whatever it is, and I meet a single mother that's within the range I'm looking for, I might be okay. Because the kids are out, my kids are out, it's just the two of us still. That would be where I'm probably going to be the most okay about it. Other than that scenario, hell no.
Kids, the custody agreement. Would you date a woman with kids? And what were your parameters? So one of my biggest insecurities in the dating world, and it shouldn't be, is that I have kids.
It should be. It is a tough factor for a lot of people to deal with.
I have 5 kids.
Jeez!
Granted, 2 of them are grown.
How
I have a
old are you?
grandchild.
And you're a grandmother already?
But I have 3 young ones that are still in the house. 13, 10, and 4. And while I do have 50-50 custody, one of the questions that I seem to get a lot is, how often do you have your kids? For me, that's kind of a red flag.
Why would that question be a red flag when it will give the guy an idea of your availability?
Correct.
It would also give him the opportunity to decide whether he wants to be involved in that type of relationship. So I don't understand why she sees it as a red flag. Maybe she thinks that having a child 100% is the same as 50%, but there is a difference, and it will reflect on their relationship.
I mean, I get that you want to have alone time and you want to have time in your schedule to be able to date and things like that. But what if I didn't have 50-50? What if I had full custody of my kids?
Then there'd be a different story.
Because to me,
obviously,
my kids are part of the package. If you don't love my kids as much as you love me, then there's...
That is just such a crazy, stupid thing. No one's gonna love your kids as much as I'm gonna love you. Like, you love your kids, but you don't love the baby daddy the way you love your kids, right? That doesn't make sense.
It's a no-go. If you don't want my kids around as much as you want me around, it's a no-go. So would you?
So you want to go out with the kids? You want to go dating with the kids all the time? Like, what are you talking about?
Would you date somebody with kids?
No.
I married one, raised her daughter as my own. We divorced and she no longer talks to me. The real question is, would women date a man with kids and accept them and love them as if they were their own?
Exactly.
I did for 14 years. Never again. She cheated on me and that was the end of the relationship, and I never saw that kid ever again. Hurts too much to lose kids in that way. Done it twice. Never again.
Twice,
Zero benefits,
bro?
all drama. I married a woman with kids.
Sometimes it takes 3 times for some people to learn.
They are part and package of the deal if you want that woman. I am 54. Adult children only. Your
There
kids
you go.
are a part
Man,
of
me and
you.
him are in the same boat. If I was 54 or so, 50, 60, and I didn't have kids, sure, if your kids were adults already and stuff, probably won't be a deal.
Any man worth anything will love your kids as much as you. The answer to your question is no. Never again I learned my lesson. That's a valid question, and I do understand where she is coming from. But the reality is that in the dating market, she will find every type of option. Some guys will date but won't consider being in a relationship. Others won't date as it's not their dating preference. She also will find some guy who would be ready to marry her and embrace her entire family. But usually, this is not what happens. They keep going after Chad, not considering his preference, and this decision always places them in challenging situations when it comes to finding someone. So, targeting the right group would remove most issues they used to face when dating. Look at the woman who decided to put her hand on the young man who rejected her because she had a child. She didn't accept the fact that he didn't want to be with her for that reason.
Yep.
Maybe she believes that he shouldn't have that requirement, but it didn't make any sense as it was just his preference.
And if you would, are there limitations? Like age ranges, the amount of kids?
I already explained my scenario.
When it comes to the age range, it is also a very important variable, as each age group will determine the type of relationship the couple will have. We have to agree that a relatively young child will require a lot more from their mother than a child who is fairly grown, as they will be independent, so age is important. The hardest part about this type of situation for most men is when there is an issue in the relationship and they split. This is the thing that hurt the most, as at that point, he already built a bond with that child.
Yeah, most fathers that do this end up loving the kid too. And you rip them away just like these women rip away the kids from the actual fathers.
But since he is not the father, he probably will never see that child again.
This is exactly why we're so staunched about not dating with single mothers or messing with single mothers in the first place. You get the rejection factor of that, you get the kids factor, you get the you're not a real man factor, you get the factor of when you do get the kid and things separate, you'll never get to see the kid again. There's just so much moving parts that are a detriment to you. Yes, there's great single mothers out there, I'm sure. Like Andrew Wilson's wife is one of them, or was one of them. The chance of you finding that one, slim to none. Please like, comment, subscribe down below. I really appreciate that.